I want to bring in an expert to help break it down. We have Marc Chenard, the senior branch forecaster at the Weather Prediction Center. Marc, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and help discuss this a little bit further.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, first off, I do want to ask you here, can you kind of break down what we are seeing there as far as these blizzard conditions and exactly who is impacted?
Yeah, so it's pretty significant blizzard conditions across portions of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and then getting even into portions of southern Minnesota. So it kind of started late last night into early today across portions of Kansas, Nebraska, spread across into Iowa and now southern Minnesota. So it's generally those portions of the plains into the Midwest that are being most impacted by this, by the blizzard conditions.
I do want to ask about the tornado outbreak as well, because we talked there about the blizzard conditions, but we're also going to see the possibility of a tornado outbreak like we saw last week. So can you kind of break down who's impacted there and how significant that could be?
Yeah, so the tornado threat with this system is actually further north than the last system. So we're talking more like centered over Illinois, so central Illinois, portions of Indiana. And it's not as widespread as the last event. So this last event, had widespread severe weather, lots of tornadoes, the fatalities that you mentioned. This one, there is some threat. There likely will be a few tornadoes, but it's not expected to be as widespread or as destructive as the last system.
Is this fairly standard for this time of year? We know that we've seen, storm outbreaks and things of that nature, especially as we enter into the spring months. So is this kind of normal to see these monster storms, so to speak?
Yeah, so this would be the time of year to get these kind of as we head into the spring. So late February, March, even maybe early April. It's common to get these pretty significant plains to the Midwest storms that can produce all the hazards, blizzards on the cold side, severe weather on the warm side. So not that uncommon. It's not, maybe like you said, we've had 3 in a row. It's not as common to see these kind of in quick progression as we've seen them, but this would be the time of year where we can get these significant systems.
I have to ask because a lot of times you do have people who say, look, we're used to this kind of weather. It happens. So if we get a watch, a warning, not a big deal. We don't need to take cover. We don't need to pay that close of attention. What sort of message do you have for folks out there who might have that mindset, whether they are in the area impacted by this system or could be in the future?
Yeah, I mean, every storm's different, so I would, take the warning seriously. I know for this one, for example, there are a lot of road closures out there across portions of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa. So, the visibility was getting quite low given the strength of the wind and the intensity of the snow. So, yeah, you might see these systems, but, everyone's going to be different, and this one is certainly significant, and we've seen that with some of the impacts. And on the severe weather side, same thing. If there's a tornado watch or a warning, it's out there for a reason. The meteorologists think that there's a legitimate threat. So I would take them seriously.
All right. Marc, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and help discuss it, helping to break it down for folks out there. Anything you want to add before I let you go?
No, I think that pretty much covers it pretty well there, Josh. So I think we're all set.
All right. Marc, thank you again. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thanks. You too.
I want to pop up this post once again. This is coming from the National Weather Service over in Chicago. It says the severe weather threat will continue to increase across the region this afternoon and evening, primarily along and south of I-88. The threat for tornadoes expected to focus near and south of I-80. Times are approximate for the main severe window. You can see some of them showing up there on your screen. We also do have a live look here. I'm going to pop it up for you. That is a live look over at Chicago itself. As you can see, it is rainy, it is cloudy, and of course they will see thunderstorms and the potential for a tornado outbreak.